Hello and welcome to the first in hopefully many of my new series I'm going to do. It's going to be based around stats and facts around the Premier League and the lot weekend's results and how each team is doing on a series of charts that I made. I spent about 4 hours last night researching and inputting loads of different numbers into different charts and graphs. So as there's only been one league game for each team, I thought, why don't I just run through each statistic that I've got and talk it through, because it does get complicated at times. So I thought, why not on the first one, just run through it all. And if there are any stats that you do want to see, comment them and I will either make a video or explain it better, because there is an awful lot of charts that I made. So in the first chart that I'll put either here or here, it's just your normal league table with expected goals and expected goal difference. And expected goals is exactly as it sounds, how many goals each team is expected to score. So if you've got a very high expected goals, you are supposed to score a lot of goals. And if there is a massive difference between your expected goals and your goals, your strikers are either doing a really good job or a really bad job. So Chelsea last year created a lot of chances, but they didn't score many. And this weekend, Man United weren't supposed to score as many as they did. So that's the difference there. I thought I would add in form, but as this is the first game, it is very pointless. Now we move on to the second chart. The second chart is, from here on in I spent hours inputting the numbers. The first column is the number of players used. Each team did 3 substitutions and the starting 11, so that's at 14. Next to that you have the average age of players used, so you can tell straight away that Arsenal have a very young side and Burnley use a pretty old side over the season. It will be interesting to see if that changes. Arsenal have some of their more experienced player, Aubameyang, Lacazette, coming back, so you might see that raise. At the moment, they're a year younger than any other side and 2 years younger than most other sides. So it will be interesting to see if that goes up. And with Burnley, do they bring in some young players? I haven't really looked and seen if a few younger players are injured or if Burnley do just have a really old squad. From that column onwards, you've just got playing time, goals and assists, etc, etc. Just a bigger breakdown of the table above it, really. Next up is the goalkeeping stats. So the main stat I like on this graph is the save percentage, and I'll be interesting to see which goalkeeper comes out on top, because some of the teams like Norwich will face a lot of shots, so the keeper should be saving a lot more because he's facing a lot more, whereas goalkeepers like Mendy, Edison, etc, etc don't face as many, but they're of a higher quality, so save percentage could come quite an interesting stat. Currently there's a lot on 1 clean sheet and 100% save rate. Then at the end you've got your penalty stats. Going across you've got penalties taken, penalties scored, penalties saved, and save percentage. Oh, penalties missed before saved percentage. Below that you've got a bigger breakdown of the goalkeeper. You can tell now why I spent absolutely hours on these stats. So you've got goals against, penalty kicks scored, free kicks scored, from corner kicks and own goals. And then in the expected, you got post shot expected. It's expected goal based on how likely the goalkeeper is to save it. So penalties are going to be very high, whereas someone shooting from the halfway line is going to be quite low. They do include penalties, but do not include penalty shootouts. And then the one next to that PS, XG / SOT, post shot expected goals per shot on target. It does get a bit mental. I think it is a lot easier to understand from here on out. This does not include penalties, but it's expected goal based on how likely the goalkeeper is to save each shot on target. Higher numbers indicate that shots on targets faced are more difficult to stop and more likely to score. So again, a one-on-one is going to be easier to score, and therefore for the goalkeeper he's going to have a bigger minus than someone shooting from the halfway line and getting it on target. And then from there it's launched is passes completed over 40 yards, attempted and then completed percentage. Passes is passes attempted, throws attempted, keeper catches, throws it, and then how many of his passes were over 40 yards, which is quite interesting. Doesn't include goal kicks. So, and then average length. So for an average length, you can tell that someone like Everton, with an average length of 50.6 yards, like to, when the keeper gets it, go long. Whereas someone like Chelsea, with an average length of 24.8 yards, like to play it around at the back, passing it back to the goalkeeper passes it out to the centre backs or right or left back. Then you've got like goal kicks, same difference there. Goal kicks attempted, how many are over 40 yards, and your average length. Same applies there. A team like with an average length of 59 yards, going long from their goal kicks. Someone like Chelsea, going to be playing it short with 13 yards. So it's quite interesting. From goal kicks, they're going shorter than they are from passing back to keeper. It goes slightly longer, not much, but 20 yards. And then this one, the next graph is pretty simple. It's goals, shots on targets, goals per shot, and expected goals, and all that good stuff. Again, if there is anything you don't quite understand, because there is a lot, if you see something and you go, oh, John, what's that? You can comment, and I'll either make the video or just explain it slightly better. But from here it's all very, if you understand what each abbreviation means, it is quite self-explanatory from there on out. It's just an awful lot of numbers. I spent quite a long time making all this, so that hopefully next week I can deduce more stuff, come out with more insightful information obtained from all this. What I've got were passing type, squad goals and shot creation, defensive actions, possession, and then just like offsides and all kind of miscellaneous stats. This video's gone on for long enough. Like, subscribe, any questions, put them in the comments or ask me on Twitter and I will answer. Anyway, I'll see you next week.